Hello everyone. So, first and foremost, this isn't going to be a typical let's talk. This is more of a rant. I already recorded this once, but my microphone wasn't on, so I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to try to just run through everything that I said before, so it might be faster than my other one, but that's because I don't want to sit here for another hour talking. We'll see how it goes. I'm just going to randomly jump through all the things that annoyed me about this film, because my friend showed me like a fan page, and there's some stuff that I want to say on that, and there's just a bunch of stupid things that happen throughout the movie that I don't think anyone else is talking about, so I'm just gonna say this. Long story short, the movie is about the fact that Melanie Martinez is the Messiah and that she's going to lead all of her new friends who are also just as aware as her to the promised land or some shit, and that they're all self-aware, but she's even more self-aware than them. And this movie is the exact opposite of self-awareness, and that's why I have such a big problem with it. So to start this whole thing off, the first scene that annoys the shit out of me is the bus ride. She meets this new girl whose eyes turn black, and Melanie's eyes also turn black, which means that they're both self-aware. When people's eyes turn black in this film, they've apparently woken up. Nothing charged them to wake up, they just fucking woken up. So they both wake up. Melanie's getting bullied by some kids on the bus, and her new self-aware friend tells her just to ignore them. Why would you tell somebody to ignore someone? How is that going to help them? People just continue to pick on you more when you're ignored, so that was stupid. And then when they start using their powers to stop the people from bullying her, they don't make it known that it's their powers. So yes, you're stopping them right now, but they're just going to pick on you more later because they don't believe in karma. They're going to keep fucking with you because so far, you haven't done anything yourself to stop them. And they do fuck with her later. They start a fight with her. Now, in this girl's bio, her friend Jolita or some bullshit, she's apparently someone who is cold-hearted but also doesn't want to use her powers to hurt people, even though they were moving the bus around to break people's noses. And even if she wasn't the one doing that, she encouraged Melanie to use her powers later to beat the shit out of the kids who wanted to start a fight with her. And Melanie was the one who was like, no, I think that's an unfair advantage. Throughout this movie, they keep saying that they can do whatever they want with their powers, but several times in the film, they are restricted from using their powers in a lot of different ways. So it doesn't make sense that your powers can have you do whatever you want when you're not able to do whatever the fuck you want. Also, before I move into that bullshit, when they got off of the bus, Melanie and her new friend bend over because the bus driver was staring at their butts. Their skirts fly up in the air. It's to be assumed that they were using their powers to make the wind blow. And it looks like they're wearing thick diapers where Melanie says fuck and her friend says off. So it says fuck off together and he grunts and looks away. That's not realistic. In real life, he would keep staring anyway. But, you know, the reason why that scene is so cringy is because it kind of looks like they just shat themselves together simultaneously as these twins with bad bowel problems. And they just like farted in his face or something. So that it was just a cringy scene. You can watch it for yourself. If you didn't know, this whole video is going to be filled with spoilers, so don't watch it. If you want to go watch the movie yourself, it's free on YouTube. But another scene that annoyed me was when Melanie wants to participate in this play. I forgot what fucking role she wants. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It was an important role in the film, but it was a role that's typically for a man. So when she said she wanted to play the role, another boy makes fun of her and he's like, women can't do that. Like, you're a woman. And I'm like, what the fuck century is this movie made in? Like, this is not how kids talk. This is stupid. You're trying too hard. So anyway, Melanie responds in a very cocky way and says that women are superior to men because of their emotionality. This phrase is so wrong for so many fucking reasons. I can't go through them all in depth today. I would have to make a separate video about it. But the best way I can sum it up is men have emotions just as much as women do. The reason why statistically men are dying faster and their mortality rate is shorter and their stress is higher is because they don't have a healthy way of dealing with their emotions, and they suppress their emotions. And that's not completely men's fault because men and women raise their children where they want the men to be more cold-hearted. I remember as a preteen, I was sitting in a room with a mom and a dad, and the son was crying. They didn't know why, and instead of asking him or trying to talk to him, the mom was throwing an exercise ball at his face. He was like 4 years old or something, maybe even younger. He was a little toddler, and she was like, stop all that crying. Stop all that crying. And she was like smirking and laughing at him. And he felt really bad because nobody was understanding him. And the father didn't really say much. He was just like, yeah. So the mom was enforcing it more than the dad. So you can't just sit here and say women are by definition superior to men. If you want to say on average women are more emotional than men, or if they handle their emotions more healthily, that's fine. But when you just say they're superior in terms of what? Like, every group is more superior than another group in something, but what are you more superior in? So you can't just use a blanket term and say we are better than you. Better than them in what? Specifically, be more specific, but they're not doing that. This whole movie is in black and white terms and it's fucking annoying. That's all I'm really going to say on that. I could say a whole lot more. I don't feel like it though. I wrote notes the first time I recorded and I'm just looking through the notes a second time now. So in this movie, Melanie is recruiting self-aware people. She keeps finding people whose eyes turn black. Nothing is triggering this self-awareness. They just wake up randomly. And she's like, oh, they're one of us, so they're going to be in our tribe. I'm going to cut from this little tangent to talk about, well, I'm going to cut from this into a tangent to talk about the bullies in this movie. So anyone who's blonde, you're a bad person. All throughout the film, if you're blonde, you're a bad fucking person. You should be ashamed of yourself for having blonde hair. Because there is a clique in this school where they are all blonde. They're all wearing these platinum blonde, ugly, big-headed wigs that make them look like walking caricatures. And the truth is they're all naturally blonde except for one. The only one who's not naturally blonde under the wig, she's a brunette, and her eyes turn black in the middle of lunch, and she's peeling an orange with her mind. So they're like, oh, she's just like us. And, you know, somehow no one else sees this at her clique table. They don't see this orange floating right in front of them. So I guess they're all blind too. If you're a blind blonde woman, then you're a horrible fucking bitch. So they want to recruit her, but they need to cause a diversion. Because, you know, you can't just pull her to the side the same way that the leader of the clique pulled Melanie to the side at one point to bring her to the lunch table. No, somehow you can't do that. And all of a sudden you need a diversion. So even though they're supposed to be empaths in this movie, they decide to start a food fight and throw food at innocent people who, you know, some of these kids might be poor. Maybe they don't have a bunch of uniform clothes. You're about to ruin their shit, and then everyone will know that they're poor and they don't have a lot of uniform clothes because they're going to be wearing the same clothes with stains on them every single fucking day. So that's nice. You know, that's a really empathetic thing to do. They start this food fight, and then the bullied bitch, she drags her little minion, the brunette with the blonde wig on, into the bathroom to make her throw up. And then Melanie goes in there, and after the bully bitch leaves, that's when she talks to her. Why did you have to start a food fight in the first place? What was the point? They were going to go in the bathroom to make her throw up anyway. So it was just all a waste of fucking time. They do that stupid shit, and then they recruit her. All throughout this movie, Melanie keeps saying, you don't have to be a plastic Barbie doll. You don't need to be a Barbie doll. Barbie dolls suck. So it's just a big fuck you to anybody who's blonde. And if you're naturally, like, skinny or have a nice figure or whatever the fuck the standard used to be, that's not even the standard anymore. Right now, at least in America, which is where Melanie lives, it's hot to be a tan person. It's hot to have, like, thick thighs, to be thick, you know, but not too fat, because then you're disgusting. And it's this unobtainable body type where you're supposed to have like this hourglass figure, have some amount of tits and some hips and be tan and, you know, still have a small waist, which Melanie fucking has. She's literally dancing with a bunch of blonde girls in this song who have the same fucking body type as her, saying you don't gotta be a Barbie doll. So she's really saying if you're pale with blonde hair, you suck ass and you should be ashamed of yourself. And it's stupid. And I'm sick and tired of all these fucking bitches who look like Barbies telling people you don't have to look like a Barbie. You know, Curly does that, Melanie does that, a lot of singers do it. They keep fucking doing that shit, and it's like, yeah, you look like one. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, you're acting like you're not in this group when you are. So that shit happens, and to go back to everything else that I was saying, you know, she's basically saying, we're the good people. All of us brunettes, we're all self-aware. All these blonde bitches aren't. But at one point in the movie, Melanie betrays all of her friends, as well as her best friend who shows up in the beginning of the film. There's nothing to show why these two have a connection other than the fact that they're both self-aware. But at one point they just say, oh, maybe in a past life we were, you know, conjoined twins or some shit because we're so similar, when they're not. They just both have black eyes. So that's stupid. It's like, show me, don't tell me. And her friend Angelita, or whatever the fuck her name is, she falls in love with a teacher at one point, and he's seducing her, and Melanie just keeps looking at them like, she just doesn't get it, nah. But, you know, she's supposed to be self-aware, apparently. She was the second person to wake up in the fucking movie, and she's stupid enough to fall for this teacher in this sadistic school. Like, this school is sadistic. These people are fucking horrible. They're torturing the kids and stuff, and she's falling for one of the staff members. Melanie's fucking frowning upon it, even though she does the same fucking thing right after. And the teacher seduces her, turns her into a tiny person, tries to dissect her. You can interpret that however the fuck you want. But she tries to fucking dissect her. Melanie saves her. And that's another thing. Throughout this movie, they keep getting put in situations aside from this one time where they can't get out. Even though they explain earlier, oh, you can do whatever you want with your powers. You can do whatever you want. Somehow they can't get themselves out of these fucking situations, even though their powers have no rules or rhyme or reason. And this door keeps popping up with this bitch named Lilith who keeps coming out with these dwarf ears and black eyes. And she goes on this whole, like, spiritualistic, you know, fucking Hotep, like, rant, some bullshit saying, you guys have lived many lives. And they're like, but please save us from this life. We don't want to be in pain anymore. She's like, no, because you've lived many lives before this and you will live many after. You know, more spiritualistic reincarnation bullshit. And she's like, you have to continue to suffer because the only way you'll learn is through experience. First of all, bitch, how the fuck you gonna say the only way you learn is through experience? What the fuck do you think science is? What do you think math is? What do you think psychology is? These things were developed in theories. People made theories. People were in philosophy and came up with theories on how things worked in the world, and then they tested it out. But also in these fields, people make predictions. Things that they themselves have not experienced. They are predicting it based off of logic, reasoning, and speculation, and then they either turn out to be right or not. So you don't learn through experience, you learn through your rationality. Sometimes you have to experience stuff to rationalize things, but sometimes you don't. I say all the time, I can go through the same fucking situation as you and we can look at it completely differently, even though we went through the same thing the exact same way. Or you can go through a situation and not understand yourself at all. I am an empath and people talk to me about their problems all the fucking time, and they would tell me all the time, you didn't go through what I went through, but you understood it better than me, or you helped me more than my psychiatrist did, and I've been seeing them for so and so years. So you don't have to go through someone else's experience to understand what the fuck they're going through. I'm moving on from that bullshit. So, you know, Melanie's just fucking full of herself all throughout this film. And she could say, no, this is about the character Crybaby, but the character Crybaby was inspired by her being called a crybaby when she was a kid. The character is just like her. So, yeah, it's you projecting yourself onto this character. I'm still going to call it you because it's basically you. And regardless, you think this was a good character to make, and this is fucking stupid. So unless you point out in the movie that this character is stupid and all her friends are delusional and stupid, then yeah, like, I'm going to chastise you for making these dumbass characters. I told you already, Angelita betrays her fucking friends by getting with one of the staff members when they're supposed to be killing the fucking staff. So she betrays them even though they're all supposed to be self-aware and empaths and shit. And if you're an empath, you should have understood that he was a horrible fucking person because empaths hate people like him. They absolutely hate those type of people. So that was dumb. And then right after, Melanie does the same thing. So there's this principal. They kill the principal. Son takes over the school, so now he's the principal. So from now on, when I say the principal, I mean the principal's son. Sometimes I might say the principal's son. So he takes over the school, and now he wants to kill them all to get revenge on the death of his father. He sees on one of his hidden cameras that are only in this one fucking hallway for some reason, that this boy wrote a letter to Melanie, and he's about to confess to her that he wrote the letter and ask her to the school dance. He walks in front of the boy, like runs ahead, walks in front of him, goes up to Melanie and says, I wrote the poem to you, Melanie, the anonymous letter. And it's like, okay, why didn't the boy just confess that it was him? Why did he let that guy say so? Regardless, he asks Melanie to the dance, and then when they go to the dance, the principal's son is not there. And all her friends are like, how dare you go to the dance with the principal's son? He's not fucking there. So why do you keep saying he's there when he's not? How did you know she was going with him when he never fucking showed up in the first place? So maybe I missed the part where she announced it, but yeah, like, what the fuck? They're not going together. He's not there. He's in his office talking on a PA system, and, you know, they're like, we're supposed to be killing the staff and freeing everyone from this terrible school that's torturing us all and brainwashing everyone. Like, Melanie gets on top of a stage at some point talking to everyone like they're idiots, saying, can't you see you're being brainwashed? But you want to date the fucking son who's partially responsible. Like, can't you see that you're stupid? So her friends are like, what's wrong with you? Why would you do that? And she's supposed to be the smartest one out of them all. And then she's just like, you just don't understand. Ugh. And she runs off and goes into the bathroom, which is, now they try to do the whole, everything happens for a reason, everything happens for a reason. So Melanie goes into the bathroom, which is when the principal decides to close the doors, thinking that everyone is inside of the dance room, because, you know, everybody went to the dance for some fucking reason. Also, why wouldn't he have cameras in that room? Why the fuck does he only have cameras in the hallways? Why wouldn't you put at least one camera in the room where you want to kill everyone? Because he wanted to make them all dance to death, dance until their feet fucking broke off. Why the fuck wouldn't there be a camera in there? But you can remote control the door or some shit. So Melanie's crying in the bathroom or whatever. And then he says on the PA system where everyone can hear, including her, "You're all gonna dance to death. Dance, dance, dance." And he's not in the room. Why the fuck did he ask her to the fucking dance? She would have went anyway, because one, she would have went if the boy had asked her out because she wanted to go with whoever wrote her the poem. He wrote the poem, just let the boy ask him out, they're gonna go anyway. You weren't planning on talking to her anyway, so why the fuck did you do that? And even if she chose not to go with the boy because she thought he was ugly or she's not into black guys or some bullshit, she would have went to the dance regardless because all her friends were there. They didn't have dates either, or at least some of them didn't. Even some of the clique bitches didn't have any fucking dates. And one of them stole the clique bitch, like the one in charge, they stole her boyfriend, which is another thing. Like, people keep promoting in video games and TV shows and all this other shit. If you're bad, you don't win. If you're mean, no one likes you. Like, every bully in TV shows these days have, like, no friends, or they're super stupid and all this unrealistic bullshit. Like, it used to be like the bully person was the cool kid, but now everyone makes a mockery of the bullied person, which is not realistic, and I'm sick of it. So they keep making this blonde bitch so unlikable and just this caricature, and all the characters are walking stereotypes. Like, one of the people in Melanie's group at one point, when Melanie was like backing out of the plan by dating or trying to go to the dance with the principal's son, one of the girls was like, "How could you back out of this, Melanie? Even I didn't back out this time." And I'm looking at her like, "Bitch, you just got recruited 15 minutes ago. You just got fucking recruited. How the fuck are you gonna say, 'I didn't even back out of it this time'? Who the fuck are you?" Like, the last time you wanted to back out of something, you like showed a little bit of concern and then you went along with it anyway. But apparently you're supposed to be the stereotype of a worrywart when they didn't even establish that. And even if you were, that's all that your personality is. All of them are like walking stereotypes. And in Melanie's interview, because my friend sent me an interview, she's like, "Oh, I had to look into astrology about all this stuff and to come up with their personalities and blah, blah, blah." Yeah, when you're looking at astrology to develop personalities, you have to give people stereotype personalities because astrology is bullshit. Unless you tell someone a stereotype of their personality, you're not going to get it right. There's a lot of people who believe in astrology. It's stupid. I think that Laci Green did a really good job debunking astrology, but there might be a couple things that she didn't talk about. I have a friend who's really into astrology, and she's into it because she doesn't believe in it. She thinks that, you know, because astrology is so complicated and people keep telling you, unless you know your sun, moon, your rising, and all your houses, and your star sign, you can't speak on astrology. And unless you're actually an astrologer, you blah, 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 blah. So, you know, my friend is like, "Yeah, I want to learn about it so that I can argue against these fucking idiots as to why it doesn't work." So that's why she's into it and she talks to me about it. Astrology is bullshit. Talk about it some other fucking time. Long story short, it's bullshit, and Melanie is using stereotypes in astrology to come up with these people's personalities. So they have no personality and they're all just plot devices, which is what's in a lot of shows these days. I need to do a video on it, but people are just plot devices these days. They have no personality of their own, and it just ruins the shows. Like, people like Welcome to Detroit become human, people like Westworld, you know, people like The Umbrella Academy, and all these shows that people fucking like, the characters have no personality, or they're all stereotypes, or everything's a fucking cliche. Like, it's already been done, and it's just like, what the fuck? So that's some bullshit. Everybody's dancing to death in this fucking room. Melanie turns into some sort of like sexy lady and seduces the principal's son, and then she turns into herself and locks him in the closet and walks away. Why the fuck would you lock him in the closet and then walk away when you killed his father? You literally ripped his father to pieces with your bare hands as a group of people. You could just snap your fingers and kill him because your powers, apparently you can do whatever the fuck you want with them. But no, instead you just decide to lock him in the closet because that'll work. So she does that and then she fucking walks away. She frees her friends, and they don't say it, I don't think, but they forgive her because, oh, if she never walked away and betrayed us, she couldn't have saved us all. It's like, okay, why the fuck was your plan so stupid that you wanted to go to the dance to free everybody? Why couldn't you free everyone outside of the dance room like she fucking did and then have them all run out of the fucking school? Or why couldn't you free them when they were walking up to the school to go to the dance? Just have them like turn around and walk away. Why couldn't you just snap your fingers and destroy the building itself and preserve everyone who you wanted to live and kill everyone who you didn't want to live, since your powers apparently can be whatever you want them to be? Movie makes no fucking sense. And don't give me that it's not supposed to make sense, because she clearly had a vision. She's like, what I saw in my head finally happened. Well, what you had in your head should have stayed in your head. It should have been locked down, deep down where nobody else could see it, because it's stupid, it's pretentious, it's unrealistic, and it's just pointing people in the wrong fucking direction. You don't know what an empath is. You don't know what self-awareness is. It's fucking annoying. So what else is on this list? All her music sounds the same. I think Pink Slip is like the most unique song that she has in this fucking thing. And her other songs don't sound the same like her older songs, because literally, you know, objectively, the acoustics for her other music has different sound effects and stuff. But in this music, everything's like the doom, 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 That fucking stupid ass sound that I keep hearing in music these days. And her voice is just like, it's pretty much the same all throughout. It's like the same beat almost. And like, honestly, if you can make a mashup with any of these songs and just like layer them over each other and it would still sound okay because they all sound fucking same for the most part. So this was just like really lazily done and ugh. So there was that. What else is on this list? She left her friends. She betrayed her friends. Blondes, the bullies. Music sounds the same. Alright, so I got through all that much faster than last time. I'm going to show you guys something real quick that's just a pet peeve of mine. It's annoying. I'm going to talk about empaths and then move on with my life because fuck this shit. Okay, so this is a forum rules for the wiki about her. And this just goes to show what kind of fans she has and what kind of bullshit she promotes. So the problem with a lot of forums is that they censor people. If you look at this fucking forum rules right here, it tells you, it says light swear words such as hell, damn, and piss, bastard, you know, even though bastard means a fatherless child, it's a slur for a fatherless child. All that stuff is allowed as long as it's not directed at any user. So they can understand as long as you're not trying to hurt someone's feelings, it's okay to say those words. But then they tell you not to use the F-bomb and the S-bomb because if you say those things, they are by definition offensive. It doesn't matter if you're directing at someone or not. But you can say shut the fuck up. You can literally say shut the fuck up. That's actually allowed. Shut the fuck up is allowed. As long as you censor out the F. Because God forbid we say the F-bomb. You know, and then laughing my ass off. What the hell. All that stuff's okay. You can't say slut, whore, or retarded. Even though Melanie has like, what, 2 songs with the word slut in it. Also, they tell you if you want to quote her lyrics when she says fucking shit, that's okay. Because as long as we're quoting the words of the Messiah, it's fine. But if we want to use those words ourselves, no, because we're not worthy. So there's that bullshit. And it tells you that if you drop the F-bomb or the S-bomb one fucking time, even though these retarded idiots didn't put this fucking forum rules in the discussion, which is where you would go if you want to find forum rules, because you see a chat bubble, you want to know the rules for when you discuss shit, or they didn't have a forum tab. No, they put in the About Us. You know, the rules for the forum, chat room policy. That's in the About Us for some fuck all reason. So if you just so happen to not see the forum rules and you see people saying the words laughing my fucking ass off in abbreviations and you see them saying, you know, shut the fuck up in abbreviations, so you're like, oh, I guess I'll say fuck. You're going to get banned. They literally say that you will get banned without a fucking warning. It says followed by a kick and eventually a ban. Another thing that they tell you, which is really stupid in this forum, is that even though this movie is about being self-aware and all this stuff, you know, and they say, oh, you have to experience things to learn, they tell you that you should avoid conversations about politics, religion, and morality. What the fuck? And if you're having, and they say if you do want to have it, be nice about it. So if you want to point out someone's being an asshole, you got to be nice about it. And if anyone says that they're uncomfortable, see here, right here, if you say that you are uncomfortable, I don't know why this circle is like spinning. It only is doing it on this website. I don't know why it keeps doing that. If anyone says that they're uncomfortable and they ask you to stop, you got to either shut the fuck up or take it to the PMs. And it's like, what's the point of that? If someone's being mean and they say, you're making me feel uncomfortable, you just can't criticize them anymore. It's the same stuff I was talking about with, like, the Rewired Soul and shit. Like, I hate people who do that. So, yeah, like, you can't, fuck freedom of speech. These people are American, but they don't believe in freedom of speech because it offends them. You know, and then with the bios for the characters, long story short, I looked through 2 bios. One of them is Magnolia, the other one is Angelita. I'm waiting for the page to fucking load. This fucking bio so I can fucking show you exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Or I'm sorry, I want to show you this F-bomb bio so I can show you what the F-bomb I'm F-bomb talking about. So Magnolia is some mischievous girl who wanted to start the fucking, you know, food fight to talk to the blonde, not actually blonde bitch. And yeah, so they wanted to, how the fuck do you not say bitch in a derogatory way? Like, hey, bitch. Or this bitch. Like, why is that allowed and fuck isn't? Anyway, so, and the underwear say fuck off. That's not part of the song. What if we want to mention that her underwear says fuck off in the movie? Is that okay or is it not okay? They also say if you use excessive language, that's not okay. What's excessive? Who makes that decision? Like, once every sentence, 5 times every sentence, who's making a decision? You just follow your gut and your spirit or some bullshit? So with this girl, they literally say that she's an empath, guided by the spirit guide Lilith, which is the dwarf-eared chick with the black eyes. And they said that when her eyes turn black, it represents her being self-aware. But again, she's in a group of people where one of her character traits is that she's loyal to a fault. Understand that the group that she's in is a group of people where 2 of the main girls who became self-aware first betrayed the entire group to go fuck guys who are clearly fucking evil. So they're not self-aware and you're part of this tribe. Why are you loyal to this tribe? So you really are loyal to a fault, whether they want to admit it in the movie or not, you know, because this is a fan page, so I'm assuming these are their theories, but she is loyal to a fault and no one points that out. No one points out that their group is a bad group, but these people are supposed to be self-aware. And basically they're saying if you're blonde, you're a piece of shit, but if you're brunette, you're fine. It's stupid. So that was fucking annoying. She's not a fucking empath. She's not fucking self-aware. And then with Magnolia, what the fuck do I want to say about her? I don't even remember, but I'm almost done. Oh, sorry, not Magnolia, Angelita. This is not Angelita. This is some other chick. This is the worrywart who was like, I didn't even bail this time. Where the fuck you come from? When have you bailed? You've been here ever since you joined, and you only been here for like 2 minutes. Alright, so this is Angelita. She's her friend or whatever, who's apparently her soulmate, even though they show no evidence of this throughout the film. And they say that she is... Oh, so I already went through this. She's the chick who told Melanie, you know, oh, don't just ignore the bullies, because that'll fucking help you. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that stuff. I just want to mention very quickly about the empath thing. Some people might say, you use the word fuck. You say retarded. You're calling them stupid, but you say that you're an empath. Yes, I need to talk about it some other time. But people who believe that empaths are people who are just like super nice, don't want to offend anybody, and are just like bleeding hearts and just give their heart out to save the world at a sacrifice of themselves, those are what you call an altruistic empath. And I actually used to be one when I was younger, so I definitely understand what it is. But if you read up anything about empaths, they actually hate the fucking stereotype, and they hate it when empaths believe that they're supposed to be a bandage for the planet and sacrifice themselves. The empaths are supposed to be Meg from Family Guy and be the nucleus of like the nuclear reactor of everyone's hatred so that everyone else gets along. And it's fucking stupid. It is stupid, and they have a right to be annoyed by it. It's a detriment to yourself, and you're not being a good person, because that means you're being nice to people who don't deserve your kindness, so you're enabling their bad fucking behavior. Being an altruist is not a good thing. It's not something you should be proud of. So anybody who says, oh, you're using the word retarded, you know, retarded used to mean what idiot is right now. Like, idiot used to be what retarded is, and retarded used to be what idiot is. And then somebody decided to switch the two. So now you can't say retarded, you have to say idiot. I'm saying the same fucking thing. If I say you're stupid, if I say you're retarded, you're an idiot, or if I sugarcoat it to the point where I say what you did isn't really the smartest thing, or it's not really that good, it's all the same thing. You have to get over the words that people are using and listen to what they're saying. What people are saying is so much more important than the individual words. If you cannot put your own personal bias aside and listen to the overall point, that is a failing on your part. You need to grow as a person. Some people can take it too far. I might give a criticism on someone that isn't okay, but it's not because of the word choice that I'm using. It's because of my overall criticism on that fucking person. So again, if you can't get past the individual words, and you're one of those people who say you can't say retarded, nigga, fag, or whatever. And no, I don't even say the word fag, but like if you do want to, unless I'm saying it in this type of context, just mentioning it, but if you want to say those things but you're not trying to hurt anyone, because gay people say fag, black people say nigga, people say that it's okay for Eminem to say nigga because he's the closest thing to a black person they've seen apparently, or whatever. All this stuff, like, there's just too many fucking rules. Listen to the overall point of what people have to say, not the fucking individual words that they're using, because 99% of communication is everything but the words that we say. So the fact that you're taking 99% of your focus and focusing it on the 1% of communication, you're a fucking retard, okay? So this movie is just fucking terrible. It's pretentious as hell. And Melanie shouldn't be showing off what the fuck is in her head, because it just shows how full of herself she is, and that she's the smartest one out of them all. And and she did the dumbest thing. She was even dumber than Angelita. It was dumb enough that girl got with the teacher, but then this girl decides to want to fuck the principal's son, who they fucking murdered his father. What kind of relationship is that? Yes, my father was a horrible person. I love you now. Like, what? So, I'm done. You can share your thoughts or whatever. I'm gonna edit this shit. I gotta go. I gotta do anything else but this. I need to find a picture or draw it too to give it some visuals, because I haven't drawn anything. I recorded this first, but yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys next time.